Raila Amolo Odinga must come out and defend devolution at all costs. This is because the only thing remaining for the people of this country is devolution. In fact, devolution is the equalizer. You need to think about it that way. Just 2 days after President Ruto met with the 12 members of parliament from Kiambu County, today the Kiambu MCAs are threatening to impeach Wamatangi over what looks like some fabricated allegations. And I remember analyzing the meeting with the Kiambu MPs, and one of my interpretations I drew from it is that there was something to push, there was a ploy to push Wamatangi to the corner, but the president would not stoop low to the level of engaging with the MCS. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to what the MCS are saying against Wamatangi. If the Wamatangi impeachment will go through, then it will be the second one in Mount Kenya after Kawira Mwangaza. These are the two counties that have faced threats of impeachment. And this podcast will answer that question here. Before we do that, let me remind you about our November challenge of purchasing wheelchairs for these 5 children that are having autism and cerebral palsy, and of course their mobility is affected by that condition. So we reached out. After they reached out, we decided that this month we will suspend all the other requests and at least purchase wheelchair. Thank you very much for those who have been participating in the challenge. A wheelchair goes to at least 20 to 25,000 depending on specifications, because those children have different conditions, so, and get different sizes. So those who are still young will buy the small ones. Those who are big, the other big children, we are going to buy the big ones with different specifications, including the desk. So kindly, I'm reaching out to you on behalf of these children to kindly participate in this. I want to believe we will close it in the coming weekend, just the day by Saturday, so that we can acquire the wheelchairs by next Tuesday. So that is it. Let's get to this point. What if you listen to what those MCAs are saying, it can make you sick. I may be wrong, but maybe time will tell. Impeachment cannot succeed in this country without the nod of the president. Waititu and Sonko were impeached because Uhuru Kenyatta had the capacity to bulldoze the process. Sonko has a lot of money, and if it is about bribing senators, Sonko could have bribed the senators. Waititu had a lot of money, was a sitting governor. If it is about using resources, he would have. But impeachment cannot go through. And today I can tell you, if Kawira Mwangaza is impeached in Senate, the person that shall have impeached the governor is not the MCA, is the president. I can tell you. And so, the reason why the MCAs are threatening of impeaching Wamatangi from where I seated is not far-fetched, and you can trace it in this soundbite by William Ruto. You'll realize that all of that looks like, they must draw the line, because never again should they be used as tools. And so, there is one question that even Moses Kure was asking. Why is it that only Mount Kenya region is impeaching governors? This is the time William Ruto went to Kiambu and told the governor that will be going back there. He should ensure that approvals for that land where affordable housing project was supposed to go on are done, the contractor on site, and things are working. The governor has been insisting that he will not even let an inch of Kiambu land to be grabbed by those he called individuals that are not from Kiambu. And the only point of clash between Wamatangi and President William Ruto has been him declining to sign, or rather to give those approvals for that construction to continue. And it seems it's not going to end, because the governor seems to have been determined that he's not going to buy all that tension. So, question: why are impeachments only in Mount Kenya? You know, do the MCS want to tell us that it's only in Mount Kenya that governors are not working? If I check the Facebook page of Wamatangi, I think Wamatangi is amongst most busy governors in this country. So, what exactly is it? Because the impeachment is also a threat to devolution. And that is why I support the proposal that was taken to the National Assembly, to the bipartisan talks, by the Waiguru, the Council of Governors, that was saying that they should have 2 years, they should at least have 2 years immunity from impeachment. Honestly, there is no way someone gets to office 1 year before even executes anything. You are all over walking within the corridors, collecting some money and some signatures so that you find some very petty reasons to remove the governor. I don't think that's it. If impeachment is the cure to governance, then we should start by impeaching the president. Because there's so many things that are going wrong in different ministries. Mutua is crying KRA is harassing visitors at the JKA. Nyakango, controller of budget, is saying in paper salaries are tripled, while in real sense people are getting their salary in your paper it's tripled. As we speak now, Dubai deal we are almost losing. So there's so many things happening. But why is it that impeachment is not a cure of our governance flaws? And our MCS must get it right. I also want to vie as an MCA anyway. And let's tell the truth. We should not allow, MCS should not be conduits of punishing governors. It's not a very good precedence we are setting. And so, there is this threat, this impeachment is supposed to test one thing. Can Uhuru Kenyatta, it's coming from Kiambu, can Uhuru Kenyatta have influence over the leaders in Mount Kenya? And can Rigathi Gachagua, what is the Rigathi Gachagua's stake in Mount Kenya politics? That impeachment tests those two. But then, I want to say this. The impeachment is a desperate tool that has been designed by the powers be to achieve some political objectives. And lately, it's because of in Mount Kenya. And the reason why these impeachments are happening in Mount Kenya zones, because of Ruto's weak interest in devolution. I once said in this podcast, unless we forget, William Ruto has never been a supporter of devolution. He's never. This one in the corridors, if those who are privileged to be around him will tell you, he's never been a very strong supporter of devolution. Even during 2010, during the promulgation of the new constitution, he opposed it. If you look at Ruto's track record as a deputy president, where he was in charge of IBEC, little can be traced of him there. And so, if the leaders cannot come out and see the value of devolution, then I'm telling you they will fall into that trap. And if MCS think the governor is wrong, I think the best thing is we scrap all that county and all of us to go to an election. Because there is a lacuna in law, not a lacuna, but there is a weak point in law that this why impeachment is being abused. People know very well that if governor is impeached, there is no election. So the status quo will still remain. They'll still pick the deputy, and the deputy will still do what the president wants to do. Number two, when the governor is impeached, he cannot win the next general election. So it's not going to be a threat to the status quo. So that is why impeachment, and I think we should make it, that if you impeach a governor, that governor should be allowed to come back and vie. If he can be cleared, he should be allowed to come back and vie. Because impeachment is a tool that is being abused. Number two, there is a ploy to bulldoze the leaders to cede to the executive pressure. And this is it. What is the point of departure between Wamatangi and William Ruto? If you look at it, it's just purely interests. Ruto is insisting, I need to build those houses. The government is saying, we are not going to give land to national government, while we can still, even as a county, we can still use that land for doing 1, 2, 3. So it's purely on those interests. And that is why I want to believe that those MCAs, who is the push behind them? Let me tell you. Who is the push behind them? Because they cannot start a process there, knowing very well that they cannot find their way in the Senate. And that is why Azimio must come out and defend devolution. It will be so much embarrassing for an Azimio senator to support impeachment of a governor now on these shaky grounds. Number 3, these impeachments are happening in Mount Kenya because of deep interest as leaders have activated the looting mode. Wealth creation. People are looting. So if you cannot be part of the looting spree, then you have to shape out. I don't think it's the best way. If the MCAs are honest, let them go home with the governor so that kila mtu ende ballot. Because, they are crying for salaries. Instead of oversight, they're looking for some petty corridors to impeach the governor. On this one, I don't think that is not what the people that campaigned or vouched for devolution envisioned. Actually, it is supposed to work, and devolution is an equalizer. If you fall into the national politics trap, then our counties will drag. Let's look at how the music will play in Kiambu. Thank you.